Okay. So herein, in this second part, we'll start it with an example on our assignment operator. So int first num is equals to 10, then int second num is equals to 5. Okay, so second num plus equals to 3. Okay, 3. Then we have first num minus equals to 4. Okay, now let's try to print it. See out first num first num value is now first num of end line is copy second num. Okay, so herein again, this will like your second num is equals to second num plus 3. Okay, so let's try. Error in die. Oh, wait. Here. Ayun. So, first num value is now 6. Can we check? So, that's equals to first num is equals to first num minus or minus 4. Tama. Minus 4. So, that would be equal to 10 minus 4 is equals to 6. So if we will to check if that's first num is really 6, so first num is now 6. How about for the second num? The second num value or the initial value is 5. So plus 3, that would give you an 8. Okay? So this is the initial value of second num and this is the initial value of your first num. Okay? So that's it. Okay? We also have your so-called increment and decrement operators. You have your plus plus or minus minus. Okay. So for example, in int, let me just comment this out. Let me just remove. Let me just use the first num and the second num. So for example, in first num, so first num plus plus. Okay, and here in second num plus plus, right? Minus minus minus. Okay, so let's try to run. Now, how did we have the result of 11 and 4? Okay, so herein it's like the saying uh, 10 minus 1 is equals to, or sorry, plus 1 is equals to 11. So every plus plus, okay, it will increment by 1. Okay? Same thing or same scenario herein. So 5 my minus 1, that would be equal to 4. Okay? So meaning for every invoke of this minus minus, we deduct 1. For every invoke of plus plus, we add 1. Okay? So that's your increment and decrement operators. So now let's check bitwise operators. Now that we'll just step for a while, or at least with low level programming. Okay. Now, unlike the standard logical operators that treat the whole numbers as simply true or false, bitwise operators look directly at the underlying binary digits, the zeros and ones, and perform operations bit by bit. Now, uh, bitwise and bitwise OR, notice here that they are only using single symbols, not doubles, unlike the previous operators that we have discussed. Okay, they compare individual bits column by column. Now we also have your bitwise XOR. This caret symbol represents exclusive OR. Okay, that's why XOR, which has a neat behavior that we will be uh, checking later on in its truth table. Now, or check it here. The bitwise XOR, okay, because it's one of the most useful operators in cryptography, graphics, and low-level math. Okay, the rule for XOR is simple. Okay, or just simply it returns one only, um, only if the inputs are different. Okay, take note. It returns one only if the inputs are different. Okay? So, for example, in row 1, 0 and 0 are, or 0 or 0 is 0. Okay? 0 or 1, because they are different, okay, they would result to 1. Same thing with the next row, 1 or 0. Now we have again 1 or 1 that will be or that will result to 0, okay, because they are the same. So whenever you see XOR, you may just want to ask yourself, are the two bits different? If yes, then you get a one value or one result. Then you have your bitwise NOT. Okay, the tilde symbol inverts every single bit. Okay, so 0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 0. Now you have your bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift. This physically slide your bits across memory to the left or to the right. Now, look at this diagram for bitwise left shift. Okay, say we start with the number 12. So in an 8-bit binary format, 12 is represented as 0000 or 0000 1100. So when we run a bitwise left 1, now we are telling C++ to to shift all the bits one position to the left. Okay. Now the just like what we have shown here, the two ones move one slot to the left. So for this example, this one moves one slot to the left. So it moves one. So the new location now is on the fourth slot. From the third, it is now on the fourth slot. Same thing with the next one, which is uh, before the bitwise shifting. Okay, it is located in the fourth slot, now in the fifth slot. Now a zero will then fills the empty spot on the far right. So for example, this will, because this will also move. Okay, upon moving of this one here, the zero will also follow, and the another zero will also follow. Okay, that's why if you will to check it, okay, it will uh, have a vacancy of, or it will have a vacant slot. Okay, and therefore that vacant slot will be filled in with a zero. Okay, now so the binary or the new binary pattern would now become 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0. Okay, which is now equals to 24 in decimal. So from 12, that's now 24. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So 16 plus 8, that is 24. Okay. So shifting left by one bit effectively multiplies the number by 2. So if we shift left by 2, okay, or by 2 bits, then it will multiply it by 4. Okay. So next, we have your bitwise right shift, okay, or the symbol. Now it does the exact opposite of your bitwise left. Again, let's have 12, so that's 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0. Okay, now when we execute a uh, bitwise right one, or right shift one, okay, every bit moves one spot to the right. Now the bits shift, okay, from bits shift over, okay, by dropping the rightmost bit. Okay, zeros will then fill in from the left. Earlier, or on our previous slide, we have mentioned that for the left shift, it will just move one to your uh, left, but this time, okay, the movement will be on your right most. Okay, so from the third slot, the one now moves one to the right, so it will now be moving to the second slot. The fourth, or the one in the fourth slot will now be moving to the third slot. Okay, so the binary value now becomes 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0, which is equals by uh, 2 4 8 1 2 4. So that's 6. 1 2 4 8. So that's 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. So just as shifting left multiplies by 2, shifting right by one bit would divide the number by 2 using integer division. Okay, so that's the uh, sample for bitwise left or bitwise right. So let's have an example. Sorry. I will not be removed. Let me just remove this one. Okay, so this will be 12. Okay. So we have int bit and is equals to first num. We change it maybe to 7. So another value, first num and second num. Okay. So int bit or is equals to first num or second num. Int bit XOR is equals to first num, okay, caret second num. Let me just copy bit not bit left bit right. So here we'll have the uh, tilde, okay, first num. If you're not familiar with tilde, you may want to check the key or your keyboard within the or beside your one or top, usually top of your tab. Okay, so that's your tilde. So bit left one, so bit right one. Okay, so wait. So you have your bit and is equals to 4 and bit and is 5. So um, let's try how why does the result is 4. Okay, so let's assume c is equals to 4 or bit and is equals to 4. So in binary that would be uh, 0 1 0 0. Okay, so if we were to check what is 12 in binary, so that's 1 1 0 0 plus that's 1 2 4 7, 1 2 1 2 4 8. So that's 0 1 1 1. Again, if we will to check 1 and 0, that's or 1 and 0 or 1 plus, sorry, uh, wait, okay. So again, um, let's try to evaluate. Okay, so you have your 1 and 0, or 0 plus, or sorry, uh, bitwise and 1. Okay, 0, let me just remove this, bitwise and 1, so that will become 0. Why? The simple rule here is it will only results in 1 if both bits are 1. Okay, so that's your bit, and so that is why, so 1 and 0 is 0. So you have your 1 and 1. That's why you have 1. Okay? 0 and 1, you have 0. That's why the answer is 4. So you have your 1, 2, 4. The value of this uh, bit will be 4. Okay? So let's check the results of the XOR, bit not, bit left. Bit XOR, bit not, bit left, bit right. Okay? So you have your 24. Okay? So let us just check here in. So bit left, that's okay. So we have simulated 12. Okay, within our example earlier, bitwise left 12 and bitwise right 12 as well, or 12 for bitwise left 1 with, or bitwise left shift 1 and right shift of 1. So we have verified that their answer is 24 and 6 really. Okay, so that's the uh, answer therein. Okay, so we have your last operator is the conditional operators. Okay, so later on, if you will be writing an entire four line of if else or if else statement, okay, just to assign a single value to a variable, okay, there is a, I think there's a cleaner way to write this one. That would be uh, so you would enter the conditional operator that is also known as the ternary operator, or the combination of question mark and colon. Okay, it's called ternary because it takes three operands: a condition. Okay, we have here the condition, a uh, value if true, and the value if false. Again, first is you have your the condition. Okay, it will evaluate whether this is true or false. Okay, so it will evaluate x is greater than 5 if that's true or false. Now, next is the question mark, or after the question mark, that is now the value if the condition or if this condition is true. And after the colon, that will be the value, okay, if the result of the condition is false. Okay. So within this, you may want to try this one in your computers as well. So within our code snippet, the value of y will be uh, 100. Okay, because 10 is greater than 5. So 10 greater than 5, if the value is true, that's 100. If the value is false, that's 200. And the value herein is true. So that would print or that would display 100. Okay? So do we have anything that you would like, or if you have anything that you'd like to ask, you may want it to raise it on our GC or on our Google Classroom. So this is a two-part video on understanding and using our operators. Thank you.